What is your full name?
Kenneth Lee Dixon,
When were you born?
June 30th, 1952,
Where were you born?
Detroit, Michigan.
And were you named after anyone, Kenny?
My middle name is after my grandpa, Dixon.
Okay. What was your mother's name? Her full name.
Virgie Mae Roten,
Okay. And where was she from?
Cooksville, Tennessee.
Can you describe your mom?
Really, really sweet person. Just everybody loved her.
She was a jokester?
Jokester, always get around. Always called me her baby boy.
Did she have a lot of compassion?
Oh, yes. Big time.
What about your dad? What was his full name?
Thurman Dixon. He didn't have a middle name.
Okay. And where was he from?
Livingston, Tennessee.
Livingston. How did they meet? Do you know?
They met, I believe they met in Livingston.
Okay. And what did they do for a living?
My dad worked for the WPA. It was back when times were really hard.
What is the WPA?
It's a work program that Roosevelt started.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
And my mother was just worked around on the farm and took care of the family.
Now we're going to go to a few different questions about your life.
All right.
Okay. What was one of the happiest moments of your life?
Probably when my son was born.
Okay. What was the saddest moment in your
When
life?
my mom passed away.
Who has been the biggest influence on your life?
Really nobody.
Okay. How has your life been different than you would have imagined it to be?
I didn't think I'd live this long. You know, so I'm lucky.
Yeah, very blessed.
Just turned 72, so.
Yeah. Do you have any regrets, Kenneth?
Yes. The biggest regret I have is what I did to my ex-wife.
And that is, what is her name?
Katie.
Okay. What are the proudest moments of your life that you've accomplished? Something that you've accomplished along the way?
One of the biggest accomplishments I did was I did really good in the Army. I made sergeant in 23 months in the Army.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because before that, I was just a troubled guy.
Troublemaker.
Yes.
Okay. What community did you actually grow up in? What area?
Detroit.
Okay. Tell me about that.
Well, it was, back in the 50s, and things were way different back in the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a good childhood, you know. It was me and Brenda and Linda were the three oldest, so it was us three that started everything.
Right.
So.
And anytime you want to just go on
Right.
about a story or something, please
Yeah.
feel free to add that. What were you like as a child?
Kind of quiet a little bit, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't imagine you being quiet.
Maybe I wasn't. I'm trying to. I'm pretty sure I was, though. You know. But I got along good with people.
That's good. So you're a people person.
Yeah, I'm a people.
You enjoy people?
Well, yeah, I always have been. I can talk to anybody.
What did you do for fun when you were growing up?
Used to go to the park a lot, you know, and go on vacation with my mom and dad to Tennessee. And
did you visit your grandparents then?
well, my grandpa had died when I was only 2 years old. My dad's dad. We'd go see my dad's mother. Then we'd go see my mom's dad and her stepmother.
What was your mom and dad's names?
My dad's father was Oliver Lee
Mm-hmm.
Dixon, and his wife was Dovey Dixon.
Okay. And what about your mother's mom and dad? What were their names?
Nick Roden and, oh, I gotta try to think.
Was your mother's mother Nancy? Was it Nancy?
I think it was Nancy, was her name, yeah.
And then when she passed.
Then Pauline
Yeah.
was her stepmother. Pauline, but to me, she's the only grandmother I ever knew. Cause,
she was a very sweet lady.
oh gosh, yeah, she was the only grandmother I knew. I mean, because I was born and that's the only grandmother I knew.
Right. What were your visits like in
Great,
Tennessee?
great.
What did you all do there?
Well, we were raised in the city, so when we got to go on vacation, it was like, wow, cows, pigs, chickens, farms.
Yeah, so that was a whole new world to you, right?
Yeah, barns. Yeah, it was a whole new world. We loved it. We couldn't wait to go every time we went because it was so much fun. And the lifestyle was completely different, growing up in a big city and then going to a little small town, where my grandparents lived. So, yeah.
I can tell you really enjoyed visiting.
Oh, it was great. It still is when I go see my aunt. She lives on the same property.
Okay, and that is
Anita.
Aunt Anita.
Yep.
Now, and she is your mom's sister, correct?
Baby sister.
Baby sister. Okay. How many sisters and brothers did your mom have? Do you remember?
See, 1, 2, 3. She had.
Can you just name them for us? If you can't, that's okay.
Anita.
Mm-hmm.
Estelle.
Estelle's passed, right?
Yeah, Estelle passed. Laveda. How many is that? 3?
That's 3.
Well, she just had 3.
What about her brothers?
Oakley, Willie, Herman, Oscar. Let me see if I got them all. And Leo.
And they are all passed except for Aunt Anita, correct?
Yeah, they're all gone.
Yeah. And there was one that looked so much like Grandma.
Yeah.
Right? Which one was that they favored a lot?
That was Estelle.
Okay. Did you ever get in trouble as a child? And what was the worst thing that you've ever done when you were a youth? And this could be up to you were 18 years old.
Probably the worst thing I did was got arrested for driving to a farmer's field and cutting his fence down. Because I was at a party and I thought, boy, I'm going to have me a good night tonight. And I met this girl and she said she knew a place to go party. So I listened to her. And it cost me a trip to the jailhouse.
Oh, how old were you then?
Just 18.
And what car were you driving?
A Dodge Coronet.
Was it your car or was it your dad's car?
No,
your
my
car? So
yeah.
Did you work and pay for your car?
Yes.
Where did you work at?
I worked at Hollywood Restaurant. I was a busboy.
Oh, okay. Did you like that job?
Loved it.
How much did you get paid per hour back then? Do you remember?
It was only like a couple bucks, but I'd get tips from the waitresses because I'd clean their tables. So they would split a percentage of their, whatever they wanted to give me for tips,
Well, that was good.
If I got their tables really clean, I mean, some nights I made $15, $20 just in tips.
And that was a lot of money back then.
Oh, yeah, back then, yeah.
Yeah. What was the worst? Okay, so we asked what was the worst thing. Did you have a nickname?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't as a kid, no.
Okay.
I did as I got older.
Okay. Well, share that with us.
Well, it's on my arm. The way that story went was, I worked at Cam Car. I'd been there a while already.
And that was a factory in Rockford.
That was a factory in Rockford, Illinois.
Okay.
That made screws. And there was a guy, he's my friend, and he came in one day. His name was Bob Jenkins. And he says, you know what? I went, what? He says, your last name's Dixon. I go, yeah. He said, I'm just going to start calling you Dix. Is that okay? I went, yeah, I guess. Well, once Bob started calling me Dix, everybody started calling me Dix. Then I had to put on my uniforms. That's all I ever knew from that day on. Nobody ever called me Kenneth no more. Everybody called me Dix. Even when I lost my job at Camcar, when I went to True Value, they called me Dix there.
So how many years did you work at Camcar?
I was going on my 26th year when they let me go.
And what happened there? Was they shutting down or?
Well, they moved most of the jobs from Mexico.
Oh,
So
okay. So then you went to,
True Value Distribution Center in Harvard, Illinois.
and was that must have been a hard transition.
Well, yeah, it was. Plus, I had to work third shift. I worked third shift for almost 11 years.
How old were you when you started at True Value?
Let me think. I was probably about, I had 11 years, almost 11 years there. I was 62, so I was 53.
So that would have been a very hard transition at that time in your life.
Yeah,
How many years did you work at Camcar prior to that?
20, almost 20. I was going on my 27th year.
27 years.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a tricky question. Do you still keep up with the people from like Camcar and True Value?
Yes.
So you made a lot of good friends there.
Yeah. True Value, not. I don't really keep in touch with any of those people.
Mm-hmm.
But for instance, this last week, one of the ladies that I worked with at Sims Camcar, she's never forgot my birthday. She called me last week to wish me happy
that
birthday.
was so nice.
She's never forgot my birthday, never ever.
That's really nice. So, and what were the things that you done there? What was your job at Camcar and True Value?
I worked in one different department. Started out in the shipping department in 1975.
And this is at Camcar.
This is a Camcar Sims division. And I worked in the shipping department for, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then from the shipping department, I transferred into production control. And I worked in production control for, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years. Then for production control, I went into the tool room. And I worked in the tool room for quite a few years. I can't remember exactly how much. Then I decided I wanted to change, so then I started working in the lab. Well, after a while, I didn't like the lab.
What was the lab?
That's where I would check parts to make sure that they were made right.
Oh,
The
okay.
hardness and like make micros of parts, you know.
So that probably bored you after a while.
Right. So then I wanted to try to get my job back in the tool room. It took me 3 or 4 months, but I got my job back in the tool room, so I was all happy again.
Well, that's good.
Because I was so good at it,
Right.
you know.
So what did you do in the tool room?
I did setups for roll thread and header machines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did. I got so good at it, I could do it in my sleep.
Okay. And is that what you were doing when Camcar let you go?
Yes.
In the tool room? Okay. And what did you do at True Value?
I ran a box making machine, and I'd pull orders every once in a while, but not very often.
Mm-hmm.
And I drove the forklifts that like went up 50 something feet up in the air, you know,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. That's all I did there.
Okay. So how did you come to, because you had told me before that somebody in your family got you the job at Camcar.
Yeah, your dad got me
Mm-hmm.
my job at Camcar. He got
And what is his name?
Earl Bowling.
Okay.
He got me my job. He got Junior his job.
That's his brother.
His brother. He got Roy, his brother, his job. He got Donnie Avila, his job.
His brother-in-law.
Right.
At the time.
And in the end, the only ones that were left was me and Donnie. And so we both lost our jobs. So
Oh, so you and Donnie lost your jobs at the same time.
about
I
the
didn't
same
know
time,
that.
yeah.
Okay. We're gonna move on a little bit, and this is a very tricky question. And if
Okay.
you don't have to answer this.
Okay.
It says, who were your favorite relatives growing up? Who, or even now, who do you like to hang out with now?
My favorite relatives, I love being around my Uncle Oakley and Aunt Sue.
Mm-hmm.
Me and your mother spent a lot of time with them. And my Uncle Willie, Aunt Marilyn, I was close to them.
What made them your favorite? Did they do a lot of interaction with you?
Yeah.
Probably petted on you a
Oh
lot?
gosh, yeah. Then my mother's sister, Laveda, I was her baby. I was her baby boy. I went this way. I was in Tennessee about 3 weeks ago, and her daughters go. I hadn't seen her one daughter in quite a while. And she goes, "There he is. There's Mama's baby."
Oh, that was so sweet.
Yeah, it was sweet.
What are your classic family stories? The Dixons, when you as a child and your brother, your sisters, you don't have a brother.
No.
Your mom and dad, what was one of your favorite memories from that time when you were all together? A favorite story?
Going on vacation. And like I said, it's back in the 50s, so things were different then. I mean, we'd get in the old 55 Buick. It was big, real big.
Like a boat.
Right. It was me, your mom, and Linda and Glenda. And I don't think Sandy and Carolyn was around yet. But there was no rest areas, so, and before we'd go on vacation, Mom would fix her old Coca-Cola cooler. Mom would pile it full of sandwiches. We had potato chips, and then we had pop. And like I said, there was no rest area, so we just pull off the side of the road and ate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So did you fuss along the way, or did Grandpa not let you fuss?
Well, we fussed, but we played a lot of games too.
Like what kind of games did you play?
The biggest game we played was to count how many out-of-state plates you could count, and how many from each state. And that's what we did because back then we didn't have no games you could buy or anything like that. You know.
What about radio? Did Grandpa have a radio station he would listen to? Or
Not
anything?
really.
Did you cut a lot of jokes or sing songs together?
Yeah, we sing songs and stuff like that. Yeah.
I have heard that you used to preach when you were young.
Yes.
Is this true?
That's true.
Okay, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, your mother, I mean, we'd all act like we were in church. And we'd act like we were getting fired up. And we'd go around laying hands and stuff on people. Yeah, it was a fun time.
Did you do anything else like that? Did you all?
Well, your mother,
which is Brenda.
Which is Brenda, we had school during the summer. Well, I just was never good enough for her. She always put me in the corner with a dunce hat on. Get over the corner. I go, again? Yeah, you messed up. Get over there. You got to learn how to learn. You're not trying.
So Brenda done that to you?
Yes. Yes, she did.
So she wasn't a very good teacher, don't sound like.
No.
Okay, now we're going to go on a little further and tell me about when did you first fall in love? Who was your first love?
Oh, I think there was a gal named Sheila. I was probably 10, or maybe 10.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so crazy over her. She was really pretty. She had blonde hair. And, but it didn't last long because she bought me a candy bar. I thought she bought it because she liked me, but then she wanted money for it, and I didn't pay her for it, and she got mad at me, and she wasn't my girlfriend no more.
Okay, so let's talk about marriage.
Marriage.
Marriage. How many times have you been married?
3.
3. Okay, so who was your first wife?
Vanessa Lynn,
And where did you meet her?
Russellville, Arkansas.
Okay. And was you in the service at that time?
Yeah, I was in the service when I met her, yes.
Okay. And your second wife?
Was Kathy McKnight,
And where did you meet her?
Rockford, Illinois.
Okay. Were they good marriages, bad?
Well, the first marriage, I don't know if a lot of people know what happened, but I was with her, it was about 30-something days, and I come home from work one day and she was gone. And to this day, I never seen her again.
Really?
Yeah, never
So
saw
did
her.
you sign divorce papers?
Yeah, I had sent away paperwork from Rockford.
Okay, let's continue with Vanessa. You came home, she was gone. Never heard from her again, never seen her?
Never again.
Have you tried to look her up like on Facebook or anything?
Yes.
Nothing?
I can't find her because where a guy is easy to find, where a woman
Changes her name.
changes her name. Yeah, I look for her because I always wanted to know why she did that to me.
Yeah.
Because I was crazy over her. I mean, us, yeah.
So she may have been your first true love.
Yes.
Okay. And then you mentioned Kathy was your second wife.
Right.
Where did you meet her at?
Rockford, Illinois.
Okay. And what type of marriage did you have with Kathy?
It started out good, and then Kathy's problem was, well, even at that time, I like to party, you know, but there comes a time in life where you finally go, I've had enough partying.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about maybe getting a home and having some kids. Well, she didn't want to do that. I'd come home from work after a long day, you know, on a Friday. I might have, and I'm not exaggerating, between 10 and 15 people in my apartment every Friday night.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's not good.
No.
That's not good.
And to make a long story short, she passed away here about, it's probably been about 7, 8 years ago. The drinking finally got to her. She died of cirrhosis of the liver.
Oh, I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
didn't know she had passed.
Yeah, I went to her visitation and stuff.
Did she ever remarry or anything?
No.
So, the third wife, what is her name?
Katie.
Tell me about that marriage.
I met Katie on a blind date at a bowling alley.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and what I always kid with her, I go, when you saw me, they used to have a commercial on where the girls seen the guy or vice versa, and he like floated across the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, you just were floating across the room when you saw me that night, you know, and we had I felt crazy in love with Katie, and she had a daughter, Lori,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so, and she moved in with me, and the rest is like kind of history. We're together for a long time.
Yeah. And Lori is just like your daughter. I mean,
Oh yeah, just like
Sean, your son.
yeah, there's no difference.
Right. So you have 2 children.
2 children, yes.
And what are their full names?
Sean Michael and Lori Ann.
Yeah. How old is Lori?
50.
And how old is Sean?
42.
Now? 42. And they have children?
Yes.
Okay. What are Sean's children's names?
Bailey and Mackenzie.
And Lori?
Alex and I'll get here in a minute. I had a brain fart.
It's okay. I think it's Emily.
Emily.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're
See what happens when you get 72?
But tell me about your grandchildren. Have you got to spend a lot of time with them?
Not really, because you know, me living here in Kentucky now, I don't get to see him like I did when I was in Rockford before I retired, you know, but Lori comes here 3 or 4 times a year, so I see Emily, and Alex was just here when his mother came this last time, so I get to see Alex, you know,
Do you ever get to see Sean's children? Do you ever FaceTime with them or anything right now?
No.
Okay. You talk about your children. What are some of your favorite memories with your children?
With my children?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, going on vacations because my children were lucky. Katie had relatives that worked at Disney World, so anytime we went to Disney World, it was free.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. We didn't pay anything, no, for the tickets. We got to go to Epcot Center. We got to do it all. The only thing we had to do is buy our food while we were in there. That's it. And we had fun on all the trips that we took as family trips. They were fun.
Mm-hmm. I remember you made several trips to Kentucky.
Oh yeah, a lot of trips every year. I never missed a year to come and see my mother. Never.
Yeah.
I was here every year.
Yeah. So you had a good time. You had a good marriage with Katie.
Yes.
Okay. Till it ended.
Till it ended.
Okay. Let me ask you a little bit about spiritual life. And these are questions you don't have to answer if you don't want to. Can you tell me about your spiritual belief and how did you get to form these beliefs?
Spiritual beliefs. We started out being Baptists.
Mm-hmm.
And we were Baptists for quite a while. And then I don't know why, I was pretty young, and my mom and dad decided to start going to the Church of God. So I was raised up Church of God.
So you were used to shouting and
yeah.
speaking in tongues and all the good stuff.
Well, no, not at the start, because there's different types of Church of God. So the kind of Church of God we had, I really didn't see that growing up.
Really?
No, I didn't see a whole lot of that till I came here.
Okay, well, there you go. So, but you believe in the Christian faith?
Oh, yeah.
Is that correct? Okay. Let me ask you some more questions. We've talked about work. We've talked about you being a parent. Now let's talk about the military, because I know you served.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What branch were you in?
United States Army.
Okay. And was you ever in a war?
No, the Vietnam War was going on when I was in the service, so they consider me a Vietnam era veteran. That's why I get a lot of the good benefits I get from the VA today.
Good, because those poor boys that come home from Vietnam were never treated right.
No.
Right. How did that change you? How did serving this country change you?
Well, number one, I wasn't a good guy when I went in there.
Really?
No.
Describe yourself then.
Well,
what type of guy were you?
I was always in trouble. My mom and dad weren't proud of me. I skipped school. I finally just dropped out. I never did anything good to make them proud of me. So when I went in the service, after a while, I decided I was going to change and make something of myself. And so I made sergeant like 23 months in the Army.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it was. So I got out there. The Army completely changed this guy. I was a different guy.
So you went in as a high school dropout.
Yeah.
And came out as what?
As a man.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it was.
During your service, can you recall times that maybe you were afraid? Was there a time when you were afraid?
No, I was never afraid.
Okay, and you mentioned that you was a different man. So what type of lessons did the Army give you?
That it was time for me to grow up, you know.
So it opened your eyes.
Yeah, it opened my eyes to the whole world, really.
Okay.
You know. So, you know, I wasn't Mr. Tough Guy no more, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I found that out really fast when I was going through boot camp.
Boot camp was really hard?
Real hard.
And did the sergeants over you or whoever they were give you a very rough time?
Yes. But I made it through though, you know. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now we're going to talk a little bit because I know you're sick and you've not felt well.
No, I haven't.
And can you tell me about your illness?
Well, we can start back to about, it's been 9 or 10 years ago. I had a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
So, And then I had a couple stents put in my heart, and I thought I was doing okay. And then here about I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, then my heart started getting worse, and so I had to have a pacemaker defibrillator put in, and which I still have today. And then I found out I got an aneurysm.
And where is that located?
In my stomach, and because of my heart, there's no kind of surgery they can do. So when that burst, I'm gone. I'm just gone when that happens.
Right, but no man knows the number of
No,
heart
nobody
attacks.
knows.
Has your illness changed you, Kenneth?
In some ways, yeah. Because I think about it a lot, you know, especially when I'm here by myself.
Absolutely. Well,
You know,
it
when
would
you're
worry your
like-
mind.
You know, you try not to think about it,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't help thinking about it.
Right.
You know, but I can tell people, how would you feel if somebody told you that? If you sit in a doctor's office, hey, I'm 72 years old. I had never seen a doctor cry in my whole life until last month.
And your doctor cried?
Yeah, he was crying. Your mother was crying. Linda was crying. The doctor, when he got tissue, we're all crying. And he just told me how sorry he was. You know, I mean,
He just didn't give you good news.
no.
So at this time in your life, what nourishes you, like your heart, your soul? What do you find comfort in when you're so worried? Or can you find comfort?
I can't find, no.
Do you look at your life differently now than you did before you were diagnosed, before you had all this sickness?
Oh yeah, life was completely different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 10, 11 years ago, I was in super duper shape.
And you still work out today, though.
Oh yeah, I still work out, you know, like I said earlier before we saw these videos.
Let's continue. And you still work out today, even though you're sick.
Still, yeah, I'm sick. It's a big part of my life. It's something I love doing.
You've always worked out.
Always worked out. Always.
Okay. And these are going to be a little more personal. Okay. I know you said that you think about your illness and you think about dying. Are you scared? Does that scare you?
Yes.
How do you imagine your death? And you don't have to answer these, but this is just questions.
What do you exactly mean by that?
I mean, how do you imagine your death? I mean, do you feel like you're going to be at home or be somewhere? Or
I don't know.
You don't think about that far?
No, because the only thing that I'll probably be going back to VA here in the next month or so. And once I get that, like right now, it's at 5.6. Say if I was to go back up there a month or a month and a half from now, they go, you're at a 7.6. Then they're going to have to tell me to stop driving because I don't want to get on the road. I don't want to be on no highway or anything when that happens.
And you know you don't have to answer any of these questions.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So what is most important to you at this time of your life with everything you've got going on around you?
To just live each day, you know, and try to enjoy each day I've got left.
Right.
And, spend time with the family, you know. I spend a lot of time with my sister Linda. You know, we're always there for each other, me and Linda are. And she's helped me a lot, but I've helped her a lot.
Right, because you're family.
Because of family.
I know your mother, my grandma always said, without family, you have
nothing.
Yeah,
you don't have nothing.
Right, you don't have anything. And this is a very personal question, but do you have any last wishes that you would like to see completed? Or anything you would like to do?
Yeah, I'd like to go on a cruise.
Okay.
And I'd like to have a hot rod back.
A hot rod.
That's right. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Well, I'll tell you a story.
Okay.
When they had that overhauling show on, I tried to get everybody to ride into that Chip Foos because at that time I still had Glenda's car, you know.
Mm-hmm. The Trans Am, right?
Yeah, the Trans Am. And nobody ever rode in for me.
I did try.
Yeah, that's right, you did.
Yeah.
But I just told Lori, she asked me something about some things I wanted. I go, I want another hot rod. That's what I'd like to have before I go.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
You know? And I said, the reason I said that to her because I was watching, I seen a thing on Facebook, and the daughter, she goes to her dad's house, and she goes, look out there, Dad. He goes, boy, that looks just like a car that I wanted, that I had back in the day. She said, well, guess what? That's yours. And she got that car for her dad and had it redone.
Look, Lori's awful good. You never know.
Yeah, she's good.
Okay. How do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as that I was a good guy. I try to treat everybody nice. I think I've done that over the years, you know. I mean, especially the family, you know. I mean, just like you and your sister. I mean, you've always been around me.
Yep. Because you're more like a brother than an
right.
uncle.
Yeah. And I stayed with your parents about every weekend.
Remember the Double Creek trip?
Oh, yes.
Sharon busted her glasses.
Oh, yeah, I was awful.
Busted her mouths.
I flagged a truck down.
And we rode out in the back of his truck.
Yes.
Is there anything you've never told that you would like to tell today, that you've kept a secret? And if there is, you don't have to tell it if you don't want to.
No, I really don't have no secrets.
Been an open book?
I've always been honest about my life with everybody. I mean, you know, things that I've done or things I might still be doing. You know, I've never lied to anybody about it.
What advice would you pass on to those who come after you? Like, what would you want your grandchildren to know? Or even me as your niece. Your nieces and
just try to be nice to everybody and be compassionate with people. That's what I would tell younger people. That's what I would say.
Yeah, because we never know what they're going through. Now here's just a few questions. Tell me a vivid memory you have with you and your mom.
Oh, there's so many. I came here and I think it was 2000, and I just started putting on all kinds of weight. And I think I went from like a 34, I think I got up to 40 something. And my mother looked over at me, because that's just the way Mom was. Mom looked over at me and goes, "You're really fat, do you know that? Maybe you should get on a diet." Well, that kind of woke me up.
I guarantee it did.
I did after that. Yep.
What about a vivid memory with your dad?
Don't have a lot of memories with him.
Was your dad hard on you?
Oh gosh, yes. It was. Yeah. I mean, he worked a lot, but I think the reason he treated me the way he did was because of the way he was brought up, you know.
I'm sure that reflected.
Yeah, that's what it was. I mean, but before he died, he told me to not treat my family like he had treated our family.
He did. I didn't know that.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
So he realized what he had done.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, I went in there and he was crying, and he told me how sorry he was for the way he had treated me all those years.
So, what are the things that you miss most about your mom and dad?
Oh, I miss just the smile on my mom's face. Anybody that knew her.
She had the sweetest smile.
I mean, or like I'd come here on vacation, and I never told him when I was coming in. It was always a surprise. I'd go up, Nancy would come to the door like, I go, shh. I'd go in there, Mom be in a recliner, showing her backer. I'd go around the corner, I'd go, hey Mom. She'd look at me, she'd go, come here, my baby boy's here. I'd go over and she'd kiss me, you know. Yeah, she was just.
She was one of a kind.
Yeah.
So you had a very good relationship with your mom.
Oh yeah, it
your
was
dad
great.
not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah.
He was really, but like I said, it's the way that he was brought up. He's just really rough, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like the whippings and stuff like that. And he's just really rough and
But
so.
did you always know he loved you? Sometimes it'd be hard.
Yeah, because just the way he was.
Yeah.
You know, I'm different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I always tell from when they were little to their adults now, I always tell my children how much I love them because that means a lot, you know.
It does.
You know, but see a lot of these older guys, you know, back from like my dad was raised. I ain't gonna say their hearts were really hard, but they didn't have they didn't have the heart, or maybe it was a macho thing, you know, where I can't do that. Well, I was never that way. I got a really soft heart. I always cry really easy. You know.
Do you think that was influenced on by your mom and maybe your sisters?
Oh yeah.
Because you grew up in really a household full of women.
You got that right.
Did you learn a lot of lessons from your sisters?
Yeah. Plus, it was nice because I had a lot of girlfriends. I never really had to worry about a date or girls liking me because my sisters had girlfriends and go, who's that guy? Oh, that's my brother. Really?
So they would hit you up, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's awesome. What is something special about you that you would want others to know? That you have learned in your life? Something maybe, I don't know, since you've got so sick that's opened up to you?
Just show more caring about the people that you really love and try to show them more love, you know.
Right.
Because you want people to remember you in a real good way. You know, you want people to look back and go, Uncle Kenny, he was an okay guy. He used to make me laugh all the time.
Well, I know that me and my sister always could depend on you no matter what.
Yeah.
And we could tell you things and you would listen to us.
Yeah, we've told each other things over the years.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So we're coming to a close. Is there anything you want to say to the people who will watch this maybe in the next month, and maybe the people who will watch this in 20 years if the world lives that long?
Right. This is a good thing that Susie's doing. I mean, I've never been asked so many questions in my darn life.
And I learned a lot about you today.
And I've been as truthful as I can with them.
Right.
And it's been a great experience, and I enjoyed it.
Is there a message you want to leave to your children?
I love them both dearly.
Your grandchildren?
My grandchildren too. Yeah.
What about your sisters?
Oh.
I know they've been a major part of your life.
Oh, we're all close. You know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I talk to your mom every day. I talk to Linda every day. I talk to Carolyn about every day. Sandy, I talk to her every once in a while. I talked to her last night, matter of fact. And,
she's the funny one. She's the one who will always make you laugh.
She'd make you laugh.
Yeah,
right.
Sandy's good.
Yeah, she's like me, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like me where she can make you laugh, you know.
What about Nancy? Nancy was a baby.
Yeah, Nancy was a baby.
So you were grown and probably, was you married when Nancy was born?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
I was in Korea.
Okay.
And your mother wrote me and said, Mom's pregnant. And I wrote back because, you know, it takes a while to get a letter from Korea and a letter back from Korea to the United States. And your mother wrote me back. She goes, I'll send you pictures in 3 or 4 months when she starts showing. And sure enough, about 3 or 4 months later, here it was. I couldn't believe it. My mom was like way up in the age.
She was. So did that shock you? I mean,
Yes,
it's just
I was
like,
shocked. Like, are you serious?
So even with the big age gap between you and Nancy, I feel like that you two are close.
Oh yeah, we're close. Yeah, she calls me every day. I talk to her every day. She calls me on away from work every day.
Okay. If you could leave a word of wisdom for me and your other nieces and nephews, because you have plenty, and we all love you, and we all call you. Sometimes you're called Uncle P. You're Kenny, you're Ken.
Yeah.
Just
You know, one thing that I missed from working was I was so used to being called by my nickname.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came here, it's like I was like lost. Wasn't used to go.
Sure.
I wasn't used to going by no Kenny or no Kenneth. I was used to going by
Dix.
Dix.
Yeah.
That's all I knew.
So you got another tattoo on the other side, right?
Yeah, it says Mom and Dad.
Oh.
Yeah, and this one, small one, in here says Lori and Sean.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I would never thought that, so I'm glad you shared that with us. If you could talk to your mom right now, give us some final words. What would you say to her?
I would tell her about how much I love and miss her.
And your dad?
I'd say the same to him. I miss him.
Because he loved you.
Yeah, he was a good
really
guy.
Hard for your family.
He was when he didn't drink, he was one of the nicest guys you could be around. But see, he had that drinking problem.
Right.
He was an alcoholic, and so, but that's what he told me when he talked to me, to never treat my family like he had treated our family. You know, because it was no good when you're in a family with alcoholic parents. It's bad news. It's no good.
No.
So.
And I know you're really close to Jason, Linda's
Oh
son.
gosh, yes.
Is there anything you would like to say to Jason today?
I love him. I love him like a son.
I know you do. He's a good guy.
And Nathaniel.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, Nathaniel just.
And Nathaniel is Jason's son.
Son,
he has
yes.
two, Matthew and Nathaniel.
Right, Nathaniel.
And then his adopted child, Tyler.
Right, Nathaniel just bought me a brand new Blackstone grill.
Did he?
For my birthday. I couldn't believe it. Well, he told me like a couple months ago that, yeah, your birthday, okay, I'm going to buy you a Blackstone grill. Because Jason bought one. He bought Jason and Sherry one. I went, yeah, okay. Sure enough, my birthday.
He's a good guy.
Loves me like crazy. We have movie nights usually every Friday night. Me and him get together. And like last week, he bought the meal. This coming Friday, I'll buy the meal. And it just depends what we want. Like last Friday, we had pizza. I don't know what we'll have this Friday. I had to ask him. It could be Kentucky Fried Chicken. One week it was Taco Bell. We just try to pick out different places.
So that's wonderful. So you're building relationships with even the younger than I am.
Oh yeah, Nathaniel loves me like crazy.
Okay, so we're coming to a close.
Yep.
And I know I've enjoyed this video.
Well,
and I have learned a lot about you. There's something that I want to say to you.
Okay.
Okay. Why I'm doing these videos and I'm learning so much, I want you to know how much your family loves you.
Right.
And we talk about you a lot when you're not around.
Is that right?
But it's good. It's all good. And we just love you and we appreciate you. And we're praying for you through this sickness. And we're here for you 24/7.
Oh yeah, I know that.
And I want you to stop canceling dates with me. and now that I found out that you have a date every week with Nathaniel, I want you to know you're in trouble.
Okay. All right.
And we love you very, very much.
Thank you.
And we're thankful for the life that you've lived in front of us.
Thank you very much.
The lessons you've learned and you've taught us,
Right.
I know you've learned a lot of lessons the hard way.
Yes.
And we can look at your life and maybe not make those mistakes.
That's right.
So you have people coming up behind you that love you, and we will always be there for you. And we're going to close this video, and I'm going to let you end it with whatever you want to say.
Well, I just want everybody to know how much I love everybody and what the family means to me, because what I'm dealing with is hard. You just try to make day to day. Because, like you said, maybe I could be around for another 10 years. We don't know.
I mean,
I'll find out more when I take another test, you know. So, no, just love your family, because always tell them you love them, because one of these days we ain't gonna be there.
That's right. So, would you object to come back after your next visit and maybe do an updated video?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Are we gonna expect a miracle?
Exactly. We are. I'm expecting a miracle.
Yes.
Because I need my Uncle Kenny.
Yes.
All right. I love you. If you want to wave bye to everybody. And we
Bye
love you so
bye.
good.